Hey everyone, it is Melissa here from Sincerely Creative Mom. We're going to make a pancake petite. This is a kit. The kit came with this cutie pie little sign. It looks like it's a beaded, but it's flat. Okay, a nice oval sign, something different on the sign spectrum. It came with your 10-inch frame. It came with all the pipe cleaners you need, which we are going to complete here. It came with a roll of mesh. I've already pre-cut our mesh. We're going to talk through that. It came with the ribbons that I needed for the ribbon tails in the design. And it came with the ribbons I needed for the bow. Here's how you tell. Number one, the ribbon tails in the Etsy listing. So this was a kit. In the Etsy listing where you purchased this kit, on that description, it says 2.5-inch snowman ribbon for the tails. 2.5-inch red and green plaid ribbon for the tail. So the description, number one, tells you exactly which is for. Number two, the ribbon comes to you like this. It's kind of folded like this. And I need, for this design, I need six sets. I need 6 strips. I need 6 tails. So like here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that's not enough, right? So that's not enough. So it's got to be for my bow. And then when I can count 6, I know that that's probably for my bow. Okay. I'm sorry, for my tails. All right. So I'm going to take these ribbons that are for my bow and I'm going to set these aside. I might put them like this. Yeah. I'm going to put these aside. We'll come back to them in a little bit. Again, I took my ribbons. They're folded like that in 14-inch strips. So once I indicated that those are for my tails, I just cut, make sure they're 14 inches, and cut, and I put them together. I did finish off the edges. I just fold that, cut on the fold up towards the edge, so it has that pretty V look there. Okay, so everything is ready for us. We're going to walk through the rest. We're going to walk through the rest together. We need this for our sign. Like that. There we go. Okay. All right. So for our frame, 10-inch frame, we're going to add our pipe cleaners to every single one of these little spots here on our frame. The hole in the notch combination, that's where you want your pipe cleaner to go. And on this specific design, on the inside notch, this is the outside notch. On the inside notch, I want the twist tie. I want the twist to be right near the notch, okay? So in through the hole, out through the notch, and twist kind of right on, not in the notch, but right on top, okay? And then on the one on the outside, I'm going to do that a little bit different. I'm going to go in the hole, out the notch, but I'm going to twist right on top of the hole. It matters as far as distance, as far as placement. So on the outside, on top of the hole, on the inside, on top of the notch. Now, there are several different lengths of, or a couple different lengths of mesh coming in here. So I did that all the way around, obviously. A couple different lengths of mesh that are coming in here. The first 6 cuts off of this. First of all, before I go any further, number one, there is a specific video in our YouTube for Pancake Petite Kit cutting instructions. If you have any questions, I want you to stop and go to that video. It's a Halloween video, I believe, but the cutting instructions are important. I'm going to give you a brief overview on this video. Instead of doing an hour-long video, I cut that one separate so that you can reference back. Number two, the first 6 cuts off of here, the first 6, I need 20 inches. The first 6 are what's going to go in that outside frame. The outside. The next 6 10-inch cuts are going to be what goes on the inside. The last 6 10-inch cuts are going to go on the design last, you'll see. So the first 6, okay? First 6. I'm learning that this is a delicate design, okay? Not for the faint of hearts, that's for sure. And what we're gonna do is at the very beginning, I'm gonna ruffle this in, like kind of folded it, little, ruffle or fold, fold. So it's not a very big fold, okay? I'm gonna come down here, so I have kind of 2/3 and 1/3, and I'm gonna ruffle up that side. Now this ribbon is a little easy because there's that line through it. So I can stay like in the line, and then I'm gonna roll this other side up. Little, teeny tiny. Roll it in, roll it in, roll it in. Just enough for that to curl in, just like that, okay? Curl in. I want a nice big spread here, and then I'm gonna flip it over, okay? This piece going in my outside twist tie. Going in my outside twist tie. Just like that. Then I'm going to take a 10-inch piece. Okay, so that's 20 inches. That was the first 6 20-inch cuts. So I roll out my mesh. 20 inches, cut. 20 inches, cut. 6 times. Then the next, I'm going to roll it out 10 inches. 6 times. Okay? Then I need 6 more at 10 inches also. So here's what I'm going to do. See how it's kind of nice and big? It's not real small. Like that. Nice and big. Okay? Nice and big. If I open that up, it's like a 2.5 inch to 3 inch wide circle. Right? All I want to do is kind of curl it in a little bit so that it's at least 2 inches across. Okay? And then again, still 3/4 down, I'm going to pinch, squish it. Make sure that seam stays in the back. It's going to go down. Okay? And then I'm going to go to the inside pipe cleaner. Now, one thing I want to make sure that this is level with this. I want to make sure they're level together. They're level. Right? So that one isn't sticking out, one isn't sunken in, level. That means I may have to, you know, maneuver where my pinch is. But as you can see, that's real close to even. Okay? Now, if you need help and practice on those things, I would like you to go stop, pause, rewind, because I've already gone through and made our cruffles just to make this video go a little bit quicker. So I have them all done. And I have our curls also done. So I'm going to put them in one after another, going pretty quick, making sure. So you do not have to, you see how I put the zip ties on? That was only for this video so that I can go a little bit quicker and have the video not be as, you know, as long. So I'm just going to make sure my pieces come out and they are nice and fluffed. And then my circles or my curls, making sure that seam goes down and it comes out as far as it can to reach the other piece of mesh. Now, if you don't have a zip tie on it, it's a little bit easier. With a zip tie on it, I'm, you know, maneuvering it a little bit more than probably need. Oopsie, wrong design. That it probably needs to, but just needed that for time. Okay. Sorry about my light. It keeps flickering, driving me nuts. Sorry about that. Okay. Just trying our best. You see how here it's a little bit more kind of curled in. I'm just going to really try to spread it out so it's giving me a little more, taking up a little bit more real estate here. And it's going to end up coming up pretty crunched, but that's good because these pieces of mesh, they need to really expand. So we're going to be able to shift them over so that there's no gaps. We don't want any gaps. As best as we can, we don't want any gaps. Again, I'm not putting them in so that those curls, I ruffled it like this where those curls are up. I turned it upside down so that those curls are down, giving it a little more stability in the design. Now you see, again, those first 6 cuts were a little bit more expanded. And therefore, taking up a little bit more room. I'm getting this baby right in there. Now, if you look real closely, you can still see lots of the frame. It's okay because we have lots of steps still to go, but mostly I want you to take note in inventory on the fact that these touch because I use those first 6 20-inch cuts and I let my curl be nice and big instead of tight. Okay, that's important. Then I'm going to take my ribbon tails. So we already have them prepped. They're already ready for us. I'm going to make sure they're all going to go the same way. So I'm going to take my ribbon tails, again, really cute, scrunch up the center, 14 inches. I'm going in the 20-inch piece. In the 20-inch piece. The 10-inch piece is a little bit further in the design. And so I want those ribbons to come out as far as I can, as far as they can. So they're going on the 20-inch piece because that pipe cleaner, that twist, was closest to the edge between the two, if that makes any sense. Okay, we're just going to add those in just like this first. And then we'll pick up our wire cutter all together and cut off all the excess. This is the cutest little design with the snowman. Really cute. Okay, nice and tight. All making sure I get those pieces right on top of the 20-inch piece of mesh. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to take our wire cutter, cut off that excess because I don't need it, don't want to hide it, don't need it to be there. Get rid of it. Okay, this part, super important, okay? Super important. I'm going to make sure I take those ribbons, I'm going to push that down, kind of push it together. I'm going to make sure I take those ribbons, pull them up and down, and side to side, up and down, and side to side. So that all of those ribbons, all 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all come out towards the edge. I can see, to the best of my ability, I can see all 4. So they're not, one's not staying on top of the other one. And I can see the face of that ribbon, nice and neat, coming out towards the edge. Now, will they overlap a little bit? Sure, they will definitely overlap a little bit. Am I going to make sure that they, at the very end, when I'm done, to take my wreath and put it on the door, either for pictures or for my own door, whichever, am I going to make sure that those ribbons are then pulled out again, make sure they're in the rightful space? Yes. So as a wreath maker, and I'm making several wreaths in a day, I'm not going back and touching these every single time I put in the next one. I'll wait until the end as long as I have these up and down and side to side. I know they're separated. I know that they're going to be able to move and do what I want them to in the end, but I'm not going to continue to spend my time fixing them. They're going to move at the moment they're going to move, right? So I don't want to spend my time continuously fixing them. I'll fix it at the end. Again, this was a kit. All the pieces came in, the ribbons, everything was coordinating, ready for you to go. Make your beautiful wreath here. Now, here we are. We have all of our ribbons. They're not perfect, but they've all been separated. So now I can see that frame still pretty good, right? See that frame pretty good. So I added one more piece. It's going to be called my little bubble. We're going to do one together, and I have the rest ready. Okay? One ready, one together, and the rest ready. I'm going to take this and fold it in half, cut edge to cut edge, fold it in half, line it up. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but line it up. And then right along here, I'm going to scrunch up that edge, maybe about an inch up, by the way, maybe about an inch up, an inch in. So I have a nice little bubble. Okay, and my cut edge or my fraying edge is all on the end there. See, yucky fraying. Okay, before I put it in, I'm just going to take this and cut this little. And not that you're going to see it from the top. You're not going to see it from the top of your wreath at all. But my customer, when my customer gets this wreath, I don't want them to see that because it'll show through here. And I don't want them to see that back there thinking, oh, their wreath is falling apart. I don't want them to think that. I certainly don't want them to think that, right? So I'm going to take this and put it right on top. Now this is going on top of the 10-inch curl. Okay. Right on top. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. Twist, 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 twist. And then I'll cut the excess off of that too. So it's hiding that frame there. It's helping keep our ribbons down, right? It's helping keep the ribbons in place, I should say. And so then I would just cut this off, tuck that in there, and then you won't see the pipe cleaner because we have sign and bow and all that stuff, okay? So we're going to keep doing that over and over. And then I already had them pre-done. They do have a zip tie on them. No, it does not come with the kit. You do not need them. It was just to make this video go faster. Okay. Also, you see, these little pieces are going to form kind of a little circle around the center. They're going to overlap. They're going to overlap each other. They're going to touch each other. And they're not kind of sticking out. They're letting those ribbons still do their thing. They're just staying right in the center to help us cover that frame. Okay. I'm making sure they're as even as possible. I'm not letting one be like super wonky. Keeping them nice and contained. Nice and contained. This is super cute. The design as a whole is truly super cute. Now again, you see there's no gaps. There's just one big circle around. There's no gaps here. Last piece going in. So this one will go on top, and then I'm going to tuck this one like kind of under, since that's kind of been our pattern here. Now look, nice and kind of cohesive, perfectly round, just taking up space in the center, adding a little bit of element, texture, and covering up that frame, doing exactly what we needed it to do. Okay, exactly what we needed it to do. And then our little pipe cleaners here, we're just going to shove them in. They will get hidden by our sign. Adorable. So you see, look, it's the same amount of distance on this side as it is over here, right? And then, of course, in the very end, again, I'll go through the very end and fix all those ribbons so they look nice and neat. So one thing we could, look at how cute. That's darling. We are going to add a bow, so I'm going to add him over to the side a little bit. And we're going to add our bow over here. Again, this is just 1, support, 2, helping the ribbons, 3, helping hide our frame. It is necessary, in my opinion. It is necessary. Okay, let's take this baby off here. I do keep those, so I'll keep that. And just for fun, we'll take off our SKU number here. We don't want that seeing for our customer. We just want them to have a pretty, perfect wreath. Okay. All right, let's make our bow. At least we know where our sign is going to go. Let's make our bow. And we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Look at how cute that goes together. Man, I love this. Super cute. I'm going to shift it up a little bit. Bring this over for us. If you're just joining for the very first time, if you've never seen me before, I have super bad carpal tunnel. So I utilize this bow maker tool to my advantage for sure. Okay, let's see here. I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do 1 tail, 1 loop each side. 1 tail, 1 loop each side. We're going to try that. Something a little bit different. Just because I think it'll be super cute. Right in the kitty corner from the... I got to commit to that, so let me just make sure. Well, let's see. If I do 10 inches and a 6-inch loop, let me just see. Let me just see what that looks like. Hold on. Ten inches and a 6-inch loop. I do 11 inches. About 11 inches and a 5-inch loop. Okay, we're going to do 11 inches and a 5-inch loop. We don't need that. Okay, here we go. We're going to go 11 and 5. Nope, I lied. We're definitely going to do like 5.5. 5.5, almost 6. 5 3/4. Let's land there. 11-inch tail, 5 3/4-inch loop. You'll see in a minute. You'll see why. Okay. Love. Then we're gonna bring those tails just down to the bottom. Just down to the bottom for today. Okay. Then I'm gonna go with a lighter color. So this one I'm gonna do a little bit longer on the tail first because I want the longer tail to come down here. So let's go about 13 inches. And then we're gonna go still 2 loops, but just a little bit smaller. We couldn't start with a great big giant bow. We don't need a great big giant bow, number 1. Number 2, I don't have the room for a great big giant bow. And number 3, I don't want it to take over. right? I don't want it to take over. We're going to go with our green next. And then we'll put that snowflake on the top. You could put the green on top. I've considered it. I'm going to put the snowflake on top though. Okay. 13 inches. A little bit smaller than the last loop. Pinch, twist, loop, pinch, and twist, always making sure I can see the front, the top, the face of that ribbon. And then cute little ribbon on the top with the snowflake. And then just 13. One little loop, just a teeny tiny one, about 2 inches. Pinch, twist, loop. This one ends up being about just under 4 inches. I'm sorry, just under 5 inches, just under 5, sorry. Just under 5. Twist, loop, pinch, and twist. Now those tails are going to end up on the same side on this case because I have that one little extra loop, but then we'll put them in place in just a minute. Okay, take my pipe cleaner, kind of lift this guy up here. Before I pull it all the way up, I'm going to kind of push down so it stays nice and together. Take my pipe cleaner, go on the top. Flip it over, hold nice and tight. Twist a couple times. Okay, I'm going to hold that in the back behind me. Bring those tails down to where they really need to be. And then especially with our, I'm going to bring that right up to the top so I can kind of hold on to it. Oops, this one was folded over, so let me fix that. There we go. And then bring that down as well. Okay, so that plaid sticking out. We have the green up and the stitch down and the snowflake right in the center. We have the plaid out. We have the stitch up and the green down and the snowflake right in the center. Okay. Darling. Darling. Aw, so cute. All right, let's get our thing here on this. Okay, now remember, we have a 10-inch frame here. Okay, here's 10 inches. Here's 10 inches. Here's 20 inches. I can't go right on the edge, right? That frame it goes from here to here, and the frame is about that wide. Right? So I'm going to put those pieces that I'm going to add. If you purchased a kit, your kit came with these two little zip tie mounts. You're going to peel off the back and stick that right on there on both sides. So there's 2 of them. Don't use this. I'm not going to personally use this. You can use these if this is all you have. If not, you can do it like I do it, but you need a staple gun. Put a little super glue there. Stick it right in. Take the other one that you have. Put a little super glue. Stick it right in. And then these little things sometimes come off. That's why I'm telling you extra, right? And then once you have it stuck on there, take your glue gun and kind of like you were caulking it on, right? Add a little, there's a little hole here that your pipe cleaner has to go through. So you obviously want to keep that open, right? Because your pipe cleaner's got to go through there. But as far as, just extra gluing it on, it's not going to hurt. Since I don't like those things, I can't assume you have as far as the kit goes, I can't assume you have a staple gun, and I don't provide them with our kits. So I am going to do this part my way. The sign itself is not quite 1/4 inch, whereas our staples are 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm going to bring this little, that's just little pieces from the ribbon spool, top and bottom of the ribbon spool, and I added 2 little pieces just to kind of help beef up the sign so it's a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to take our pipe cleaner and our staple gun, nice and tight in. Okay, so I have 1 together, and then the same thing. Again, I'm not putting those on the edge. You're going to give yourself trouble with this 10-inch frame. You're going to give yourself trouble if you're putting them right on the edge. Okay, the frame is only 10 inches. This is 12 inches. Got it? Okay, we're going to take that cutie little sign and make sure we get in the right spot. That is so cute. Sorry. All right, I'm going to set that in there and make sure we get our sign right in there, right here. I'm going to take those pipe cleaners and go through all that mesh. This is probably the hardest part. Go through all the mesh, through all the mesh, through all the mesh. Hardest part. Makes me want to scream sometimes, I'll be honest. Not my favorite. Oh, there. Not my favorite part. Okay, I got this one in. Those 2 pieces in. Let me get this in, kind of snuggled in, and I'll flip it over, show you what I'm doing. So I have it in, and I'm going to take that to one side. One side of those pipe cleaners is going to be longer than the other. I just want to make sure that the pokey part of that pipe cleaner isn't ending up on the back here. So I went off to the side, and then I'm just going to tie it and shove it underneath there. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing to the other side. Same thing, get it underneath there. One, and this is fun sometimes when my fingers don't work. That's always fun. Trying to maneuver that pipe cleaner and it's like weird. Okay. I'm going to go over to the side because that one is a little bit longer. Twist right on that edge. Twist, 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 twist. And shove it up underneath there. There we go. Okay. So it's over on the side on purpose. It's over on the side on purpose. I'm going to take our bow. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Put it up a little bit high. Now let's see how we can get this in here. Because this is way high from the piece. Actually, I'm going to do something I'll probably tell you never to do again. It's going to be awkward and not a good position for me to take our pipe cleaners and kind of zoom it inside to that frame that's in there. This is a lot of mesh, and underneath it is a lot of mesh. and this is nice and light. Okay. The sign is on top of this piece of mesh, keeping it in place so that it won't flop forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pipe cleaners through, put it through the mesh, this piece of mesh and this piece of mesh because it's underneath there. And I'm going to tie the bow to that. So basically it's not going into the frame, it's just tying into the mesh. That's it. Every once in a while I'll do that. But I have to feel like it is safe to do that. So I just explained to you why it's safe, right? The mesh that I'm putting it through basically has a stopper to make it, you know, nice and secure. It's helping keep it still. This is darling. Super duper cute. And then still taking the excess of that pipe cleaner and just tucking it up in so I don't see it. Then we're going to position our bow so it's in the right spot, doing the right thing. So I'm holding on to that center of the bow so it doesn't move. And so I can pull my tails down a little bit more, a little tighter. Put them where I want them to be. The green just pops out so good. Of course, don't want to hide my little guy there. So cute. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do, of course, just like any other wreath, I want to make sure I go through, even underneath that bow, go through all of my ribbon tails and make sure they are all in the right spot. Now that our mesh is in place, our sign is in place, it's going to help keep everything kind of secure, right? Sandwiched in there. So when I move these, essentially, it's going to help keep them where I want them to be, which is right where they are right now. Now, when it gets on your front door or your customer's front door, obviously they're not metal, they're not, you know, set in stone. They will shift, but at least for our picture, I didn't pull that one out enough. See, that kind of goes in there a little bit. At least for our picture, it is all super cute. Look at that. Let me zoom you all the way out so you can see the whole thing. Don't mind my mess that you can see. Look at how cute. That is darling. So cute. Y'all, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you purchase this as a kit, thank you very much for purchasing and supporting us with buying our kits. I love them. They are so cute. I hope to see you again. Make sure you are subscribed to us. In the description of this video, you'll see links and all the information that you might need that will bring you to where you can buy our wreath kits, where you can sign up for our classes, when you can find out more information about us, when you can see us live, all that sort of thing. I encourage you to go check it out. It is learnfrommelissa.com. I appreciate you. I hope to see you again soon. Bye, y'all.